Hello, my name is Ollie, and today I will be showing you what the future of aviation will look like. We will be covering the future planes and the planes that will be retired and when they will retire. Now grab a snack and enjoy. First, let's talk about Boeing's new plane in the 7 series. Now, if you don't know what that series is, you're definitely not an av geek. Now, the simplest way to tell you what this series is basically it's all of Boeing's passenger planes. They're the 707, 717, 727, 737, until 787. But it's missing one 7, and that one is the 797. This is what some people will say that the 797 will look like. It looks like a smaller 787, but I really love its design. Its windows look better. Its fuselage looks better. Everything about it I feel like looks better, and it might be the best plane that Boeing will have released, other than of course the 747. Nothing beats that. But let's see when it's going to come out, because I honestly don't know. I think I heard that it's going to come out in like 2030. Okay, so I have found out when the release date might be, and I will show you right now. Okay, so it says that it is speculative, whatever, that it might come out in 2030, but Boeing hasn't said. I think 2030 might be reasonable. I would think that the 797 would come out earlier, and here's why. If we look here at the 777, its first flight was on June 12, 1994. Now, let's look at when the first flight of the 787 happened. So for the 787, its first flight was on December 15th, 2009. Let's calculate and see how long it took for the 777 to go to the 787. This is by years, not months. I am only calculating by years. Okay, so we do 2009 minus 1994, right? 1994 here. That took 15 years. Now, if we do, if we do 2030, which is its predicted time, here, 2030, minus, let's do 2009, which is when the 787 came out. That's 21. That means this has taken like 21 more years than not 21, 6 more years than it did for the 777 to jump to the 787. The 787 is like an engineering marvel. The 797 is just a smaller version of it. I would think that it would take less long. That's why I don't think 2030 isn't really that reasonable. It's kind of reasonable, but 21 years seems like a pretty long time. Now time to cover the Boom Overture, the newest supersonic jet after the Concorde, which sadly had a fatal crash in, I think, 2005, leading to its retirement from the aviation, or from all the planes. It will remain a plane of history and will be very popular from probably today, for like a billion years. I don't know. But Boom will be the new supersonic jet, and I think it's opening with American, Japan Airlines, and United Airlines. Here's what the Boom Overture will look like. Now, it's a new strategic, I don't know, investment from Neon comes as the XB-1 Symphony and Overture achieve important program milestones. I have no idea what that means, but I guess the XB-1. Wait, what is the XB-1? Okay, the XB-1 is like some test, maybe? I don't really know. Yeah, it is a test flight of the XB-1. But yeah, now let's see when the Boom Overture will release. So Boom said that it's projected to become commercial in 2029, which honestly, that's very reasonable for a supersonic jet. You know how hard it is to make a supersonic jet? It's probably very hard. It looks like it was completed in June 2024, but I guess it's having test flights until 2029. The rollout of the first orbital prototype is scheduled for 2026. It's 2025, got it, with test flights to follow in 2027. That actually sounds pretty good. 2029 sounds more reasonable than the 797. Okay, so next up on our list of new planes is the Airbus Zero E. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, the Airbus Zero E. Now, this is some like hydrogelic thingy-majig, I don't know, but it just looks really cool. So let's see what it is. I've seen this plane like everywhere, and it's a new Airbus planned. It is Zero E, fully electric, hydrogen-powered four-part aircraft. That actually sounds pretty cool. Yeah, hydrogen fuel cell technology, whatever. Hydrogen ecosystem. Zero project was released in 2020 before choosing our focus and efforts on the fuel cell powered Zero design in 2025. Got it? We also explored the feasibility of 3 other aircraft designs. Okay, all of them were powered by hydrogen combustion propulsion systems, the turbofan, the turboprop, and blended wing body, which actually looks pretty good. Oh, that one looks nice. The Zero series. What's the Zero? There's a whole series. Yeah, let's see when this plane or when the series of planes might come out. Okay, so it says here in the Zero E series will come out in 2035. My dog keeps barking. But the new time frame for the Zero E program is as far as 2040 to 2045, and that's wild. And here are the reasons for delay. Design challenges, okay, budget, okay, even though Airbus has been doing really good so far. Technological metric or whatever. In the meantime, Airbus is expanding the next plans. The aviation industry is also with SAF, whatever that is, solutions. But basically, it was 2045, but now the current projection is like 2040, possibly as late as 2045. Now, before we move on to the next chapter, I need to show you something. So I've been flying on Delta recently because, it's summer. And something caught my eye in the little in-flight entertainment screens. In the safety video, at the end, something caught my eye. That was pretty weird. Now, I'm going to show you what that is. I am at the Delta 100-year safety video. Now, it starts off with every Delta safety, or not always, but yeah, it's pretty good, pretty funny, pretty cool. But if you go to the end, I'm just going to start here.
Thank you for flying with Delta today and for the next.
That scene. Which plane will that be? If you have any idea what that plane will be, comment down below. But anyway, let's move on to the next chapter. Now, first I'm going to see if there's any news on any airline retiring the Boeing 737. I searched up when will the 737 retire. There was really no estimates. Even if I searched up when will the 737 retire estimate, nothing popped up. But here it says it's not being retired as a whole, yeah. But individual airlines are phasing out older variants, and they are upgrading to the Maxes and other aircraft. Southwest is apparently retiring up to 50 Boeing 737 next generation aircraft by the end of 2025. Honestly, I'm kind of getting sick of Southwest 737s. And then Singapore Airlines is retiring the last four 737-800s by March 2026. Dang. And SAS has already retired its last 737-100. Yeah, Singapore. Boeing plans to continue doing the MAX. Okay. And then, yeah, that's basically it. Now, I'm going to move on to the 747. Probably the most loved plane and probably one of my favorites because of its nostalgic, historic history. It's just the icon of aviation by now, and everybody knows it. They have stopped production, but there are still a few airlines still flying it, like Wasaya, Lufthansa, and Korean Air, and also many cargo airlines like UPS, Atlas Air, basically almost every cargo airline except for like FedEx, all that stuff that you can think of still has the 747. So let's see, when will it retire? Here it says that, let's see, where was it? Okay, the last of the passenger 747s are expected to be retired within the next 15 to 20 years. That's actually pretty good, knowing that there's only four people or four airlines that are still flying it, not including all the cargo. But that actually sounds pretty good, knowing that they stopped production in early 2023. That's pretty good. Now on to the next plane. Now let's move on to another popular plane, the 757. Everybody says that it might be getting retired very, very soon. Now let's see when it will be retired. So here it says that the Boeing 757 is gradually retired by airlines, with some already phasing it out, with others planning to do so in the coming years. Okay, let's see. Condor retired its 757 fleet in 2025. Got it. Jet2 ceased operations on January 5th, 2025. Got it. Delta still operates some. Yes, of course, everybody knows it, but eventually is supposed to retire them, of course. United plans to retire its 757 fleet and replace it with the Airbus A321 XLR. Honestly, I would keep the 757. They're so iconic. And then FedEx has been phasing out its 757 freighter fleet. Man, these cargo companies, they don't need to retire these things. They're fine. Like, why do you need to retire them? Anyway, let's move on to the next plane. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look into the newest plane and see when people say it might retire. Because I want to know when these very new planes will retire. Now, let's go. The newest plane is the 777X, which hasn't even came out yet. But that has no estimates for when it will retire. So I went to the second newest plane that Google says is the newest plane that was released in like 2023 or 2022 or whatever. It's the B-21 Raider. Never heard of it, but it is expected to be retired by the mid-2030s, and literally it is a sequel, basically, to the B-2 Spirit bombers and the B-1 Lancers. Come on, they were already good enough, and that looks the same. So the Air Force is going to retire them mid-2030s. Now that was it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. It will help me a lot. I'm trying to maybe reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. Now, I'm at 110 right now. I think while I'm uploading this, I'm at like 110. So please, it would be a favor if you did that for me. And if you enjoyed the video, then you can send it to friends and turn on notifications so that you don't miss another upload. Now, see you later.